Have you ever felt like you're stuck in overdrive? When it comes to healthcare, have you ever wondered why there's more hospitals and pharmacies than ever before? Have you noticed that despite the use of more drugs and medications, more surgeries, there's more diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, depression, among other things? Well, why do you think this is? So how could this be that being that we're using more drugs and surgeries, more methods for healthcare, if you will, that there continues to be such a rise in these different symptoms and conditions that people struggle with every single day? Well, I'm Dr. Joel Feeman, and today I want to talk with you about healing nerves. Here's the thing. In previous teachings, we've talked about the fact that there's three different types of nerves. You have nerves that make you feel, nerves that make you heal, and then nerves that make you move. It's important to remember that your feeling nerves only represent 6% of the nerves. That's right. The sensory feeling nerves only represent 6%, which means the remainder nerves in your body, the nerves that make you heal and the nerves that make you move, account for the remaining 94% of the nerves. In other words, you can have pinching, irritation, and damage to those nerves, interference to your nervous system, and yet you may not necessarily feel bad, which is why the deadliest diseases are known as silent killers. You see, when it comes specifically to your healing nerves, these nerves are called autonomic nerves. These autonomic nerves are responsible for organ function and healing. The autonomic nerves are further broken down into nerves that make things speed up or slow down. They're referred to as sympathetic or parasympathetic. In other words, if you were to imagine that you had a heart, that heart is going to have a nerve that feeds into it. One nerve that's almost like a gas pedal, the other nerve like a brake pedal. And so when you have the nerve signals going to that heart, or maybe the thyroid, the digestive organ or tissue, whatever the case may be, when the nerves are flowing in a balanced homeostasis state, you're going to have proper, in the heart's case, proper heart function, whether it be blood pressure related, cardiovascular, in any way, you're going to have it to where it's doing what it's supposed to do in a balanced state. The problem, however, is when it becomes imbalanced, where one signal is going too fast while the other one's going too slow. Simply put, the sympathetic nerves are designed to stimulate activities to restore and conserve the body's resources. The sympathetic nerves, on the other hand, are designed to stimulate activities within the body for emergency or stressful situations. Always keep in mind that the way your body was created, your body is designed with an internal mechanism. It's called a fight or flight mechanism. This fight or flight mechanism, controlled by the sympathetic nervous system because it's an emergency situation, is designed to immediately adapt for the sake of survival. Take, for example, a situation where perhaps somebody jumps out and scares you. In that particular moment, you're going to have certain body physiology or functions that are going to be immediately changed in case you would have to either fight the person or flight as fast as you can. In that case, your pupils would dilate, your body focuses on getting proper oxygen and blood flow. But in the same sense, your parasympathetic system is going to significantly have an opposite effect to where in that moment, although things like your lymphatic system, digestion, immune system, reproductive system, they're all essential for life, in the moment of survival, your body is not really focused on healing a cut because it's focused on trying to avoid getting cut. It's not focused on digestion or nutrients that can help heal the body. Again, it's focused on making sure you're able to survive. And the same holds true when it comes to your reproductive organs, your lymphatic system, and so forth. Your body's primary response in that emergency situation, stimulated by the sympathetic response, is that of survival. I hope this makes sense, but really it's a natural response, once again, as an adaptive response for the sake of survival. The problem that many people have is that they allow the challenges and stresses of life cause a sympathetic response, and they live in that although it may not be a survival emergency fight or flight situation. You see, when this shows up, many patients will start to find themselves experiencing different symptoms of a survival mechanism that's basically been revving up too long. So some people will notice that they have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, they're having blood sugar issues, they're having hormonal imbalances, reproductive issues, and digestive issues, among other things. Now, the typical response from a medical perspective is generally to put the person on a lifetime of medication. So in the case of high blood pressure, well, it seems logical to just give them blood pressure medication for the rest of their life. And the same holds true whether it be digestive drugs, cholesterol drugs, reproductive issues, or hormone imbalances and thyroid problems, whatever the case may be, without identifying the underlying cause and dealing with those stresses at hand, the answer to most people and to the medical world is, generally speaking, a lifetime, a life sentence of continued medication. Now, although that may be a common approach and somewhat expected in some measure, the question becomes, is that what each patient specifically needs? And it's not my intent to tell you that it's a bad thing, but my intent is to say that if you desire life and health at the highest level possible, then we have to address what's actually happening. Are we healthy or unhealthy? What's causing us to be unhealthy? Is our body reacting to the stresses of life in a manner that's causing the body to have these problems? And what can be done to avoid that situation? It's an altogether different approach because we're identifying or attempting to identify the underlying cause instead of looking at the effect and focusing there instead. So keep in mind that if your body's created to be healthy and you're designed to live a vibrant life full of health and healing and vitality, if that's the potential, why is that potential hindered? And that's the real question. You see, true health is not waiting for a crisis to appear. True health care is about caring for your health to avoid that from happening. I had a patient one time who said, I learned through the school of hard knocks, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But the reality is that mentality is that of wait for the crisis and then do something about it. Whereas a maintenance perspective is altogether different. If I didn't change the oil in my car or rotate the tires and do all the particular necessities of maintenance, the potential of that car is there. You can have a tire that's designed to last 50,000 miles. But if your car's out of alignment and it's wearing abnormally, it could only last maybe 10 and you have to repair that. And the body is really no different. We have the ability innately to heal and repair and organize and mend and to be able to get through life, but the reality becomes if we're still having those constant stresses unidentified or undealt with, then although that potential innately is there to express life and be healthy, the body is then hindered, and that's where the underlying cause or underlying problem lies. You see, when chiropractic is properly practiced, the reason we look for long-term sustainable changes is because we realize that healthcare doesn't have a starting and a stopping point. We realize that your autonomic healing nerves have to do with the organs of your body healing at their best. What better way to be able to keep your body healing at its best, to keep your nervous system free of interferences, than to use chiropractic care to do just that? But even more than that is to not only use chiropractic care to keep your body free of the interferences, but to then learn what lifestyle choices are causing those interferences to be there in the first place. As you continue with your chiropractic care, make sure you follow your recommendations to a T. Get the people you love and care about the most also checked so they too can experience a life of health and healing and vitality. Don't wait until they're sick and then respond. Be proactive with your health as well as theirs. Again, we want your body to feel good, heal good, and move good. We want your body to be the full expression of life and health the way you're created. I'm Dr. Joel Feeman, here to help you and your family to be as healthy as possible. Until next time, God bless.